wind's picking up, rain's moving in. There's something so ominous about these woods. Beware the ghost of John B. Tipton. Didn't sound natural, man.
Far back in the hollers of Appalachia, there's a place frozen in time. This place sits silent, consumed by the mountains, a ghostly reminder of our past. Staircases sit under the pines, chimneys stand lonesome, a graveyard that sits in silence, and houses that were once homes. All of this, just small echoes of a place that was once alive but now hauntingly lies dormant, slowly being eaten by the unforgiving Appalachian wilderness. Hikers and adventurers alike claim to have seen and heard many unexplained things in this place. Join me as I journey deep into the mountains on the Tennessee and North Carolina border to stay overnight and uncover the odd beauty and haunting truth of a long-forgotten ghost town, the Lost Cove.
165 years ago, Civil War deserter Morgan Bailey purchased land on the Tennessee and North Carolina border. It's rumored that he got this land with nothing but $10 and a shotgun. Soon after Morgan Bailey settled into the valley, people came in off the railroads and joined him. This eventually created a small logging community up here in the mountains. The reason the town became abandoned was because neither state, North Carolina or Tennessee, could decide who owned the town to build a road in. And then over time, the rail company stopped bringing passenger cars in. So the Lost Cove slowly dwindled down to one family who left in 1958. There's something so ominous about these woods. It's almost silent out here. The only wildlife I think we've heard is a crow and a woodpecker. All the trees are dead. I don't know, I just get a weird feeling out here. All right, so we found our campsite. Somebody left their tarp hanging back here. Dakota's working on cutting that down right now. I can't stand people who just leave their trash laying around. It drives me absolutely crazy. Got some homemade bread in that tinfoil back there. Threw it on top of embers, threw embers on top of it, kind of trying to bake it. Fire kind of died down, but that's good because we don't want a super big fire because the wind's blowing like crazy. All right, so we got the homemade bread cooking in the fire. Dakota's eating his dinner. I'm waiting on him to finish up there so I can cook my dinner. After that, we're gonna eat, we're gonna chill for a little bit. Once the sun sets and it gets dark, that's when we start our paranormal exploration and investigation. Where we've set up is probably not one of the smartest places we could have set up. Just about 30 yards above us sits the Lost Cove Cemetery. Now there's something mysterious about this cemetery. Lots of people who camp and hike out here claim to hear footsteps following behind them in and around this area. So later on, when it gets dark, me and Dakota are going to come up here and do a little investigation on that. Believe it or not, the cemetery is not the only haunted part of this abandoned... Oh God, a ghost just moved my camera, dude. Uh-oh. My bad. Let's go. Found a skeleton of some sort. That's I believe to be a possum, but I'm not sure. Behind me right now, or what I'm kind of standing in, is the old chicken house. This is where we're going to go if we absolutely have to tonight because we do have severe storm warnings, but we're kind of on the outskirts of where the storms are supposed to roll through. So at most we might get rain, but if the winds get really high, then we're going to come in here for shelter. All right, my hair looks all funky, but the wind's picking up, rain's moving in, so as of right now, we're gonna postpone our investigation to a little later. We really need to get back to the camp, back towards that chicken house as a shelter, get some food in us before we make any decision on whether we're gonna investigate tonight or not. So the wind got way too strong for our comfort, so we actually moved down to the chicken. Exactly, just what you heard. It is windy. So we actually moved down to the chicken house to kind of give us a little extra shelter. I think it's about time we go ghost hunting, man.
I think we're good in here. I think this structure is fine.
All right, so earlier we discussed the footsteps heard around the cemetery. But what are the other legends here in the Lost Cove? So there's 3 other stories that have been told. One is people hear music playing off distantly in the mountains. Now earlier I came to the conclusion that maybe the train coming through the gorge down there could be mistaken as sounding like music. So we'll be on the lookout to see if we hear anything. Another legend is people seeing lights off in the woods. Now, of course, people are going to write that off as other hikers hiking around, but we know 100%, it's a fact, we are the only people out here right now. See any lights or anything like that? It's probably a ghost. And the third legend I want to talk about is probably the creepiest out of all the legends, and it's the shadow people. There's lots of stories, lots of claims of people seeing shadowy figures walking around foundations like the one standing behind me here. We are going down the trail to the John B. Tipton house, which is said to be the most haunted house in the area, with people seeing shadow figures, supposedly the ghost of John Tipton walking around inside of that house. So let's get it. All right, so far, the only lights in the woods I have seen is the one shining on my face right now. Hadn't heard any music. All I hear is a creek. But we are on our way to the John B. Tipton house. I don't know. I'll just keep y'all updated and see where things go from there. Yo, is there any ghosts out here? Okay, so we're actually coming up on the house now, and now I'm starting to get a little creeped out. On the John Tipton house right now. And there it is. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't just the slightest bit creepy. Man, it's got my heart racing a little bit, dude. It's just a building in the woods, like it's nothing too crazy. It's not like there's pentagrams on the wall or anything. It's crazy that somebody used to live in here. Whew, that's creepy.
What?
Slept here. Thanks for your hospitality, John B. I heard you walking around. Bro, that's
Probably
creepy.
did, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, John, we're just visiting right now. We'll be out of your way here in a little bit. Beware the ghost of John B. Tipton. What was that?
I don't know.
I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
That didn't sound natural, man. Well, y'all, as creepy and unsettling as this place is, it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of history. I don't know if I caught it on camera earlier, but we did hear some strange noises. Not exactly sure what they were. That's a tree. All right, also, we decided we're just going to sit in silence for a minute. See if anything goes on, see if we see anything. If there's any ghosts in here, make yourself known. If there's any ghosts in this building or anybody, give us a sign, make some sort of noise. We're not hearing anything in here, but something that is creepy is how quiet the woods are. Any experienced woodsman knows that when the woods go quiet, there's a big predator around or something like that. So that is something that's ominous. The only thing that I really do hear right now is some leaves rustling outside in the river down in the gorge. We've got this really bright idea that we're actually going to go head to the cemetery and do a similar thing, kind of just sit in it and ask if there's any ghosts around or something. This is one of the spots where supposedly people have seen shadow figures moving around, right on this foundation where I'm standing. Alright, y'all, the rain has continued to pick up. You can hear the trees out dancing in the wind. So we just laid down to go to bed. I will keep y'all updated if anything interesting happens, but if nothing happens, I'll see y'all in the morning. My headlamp's dying. It's not good. Good morning, everybody. It is 7:30, and we are in backcountry North Carolina with severe thunderstorms rolling in. Was camping in this our brightest idea? Probably not, but I've already said that. Are we still cool for doing it? Heck yeah, we are.
Heck yeah, we are.
Are we facing a potential survival situation? Yeah. Well, y'all, I think that concludes our adventure for the Lost Cove. Storms last night weren't too incredibly bad. I noticed the wind and rain picking up about 4 o'clock, something like that, and then thunder and lightning came in a couple hours later. But it has since died off, and right now we have nothing but a light drizzle, a little bit of wind. I'm not too sure anything paranormal happened either. I do remember right before I had went to sleep last night, I had heard some footsteps coming down from the direction of the cemetery, coming down and walking around our chicken coop. It could have been an animal. I wrote it off as a deer or a raccoon or something, but who knows, maybe a ghost could have been walking around. Didn't see any shadow figures, didn't hear any music in the woods, didn't see any lights off in the distance, so I don't know. Is the Lost Cove haunted? Let me know down in the comments down below. So me personally, I didn't experience anything out here, but I'm not gonna say that the place isn't haunted. And as always, thank y'all for sticking around to this point in the video. Let me know down below if you enjoyed it. Be on the lookout for Haunted Appalachia Episode 3, hopefully coming soon. I've got a really good idea for that one that I think y'all would really enjoy. Hope y'all enjoy your time out exploring the world and exploring nature. I'll see y'all in the next one. We're walking up on the John Tipton house right now. That's a spider. I really don't like, that's the scariest thing in this wood. No, bro, that's the scariest thing in the woods, man.